This week on the Anime Alchemist podcast, YuYu Hakusho is a masterpiece. It's so fucking good. And you're not gonna like me for this later when we really get into it, but I genuinely think I liked it more than HunterxHunter, dude. Which character do you like better, Yusuke or Gon, as
Yusuke.
like the main character of their show?
I'm gonna have to say Yusuke simply because I have always liked Killua a little more than Gon.
Yeah, HunterxHunter I think suffers from like its side characters being better or like more interesting than the main character. HunterxHunter didn't make me cry
Not at any point.
at any point.
At any point,
No.
You're a heartless
the
bitch.
king, you're a heartless piece of shit.
Which
The king and fucking Kamugi.
that was good. Okay, but it took to the end of the end of the anime. But it and
But
like
did your
yes, it
statement
made
not
me
just say-
feel. It made me feel for sure, but it didn't like make me cry.
Wow.
And Yu Yu Hakusho, that first episode hit like a truck.
Power system of Hunter x Hunter is better.
Thank you.
I'll give you that because it's more well thought out.
I fucking love you.
Yeah.
it had to be said. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like that power system is one of the best power systems in fucking anime
Yeah.
today.
In Yu Yu Hakusho, there's not really a power system. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
It
It's the
feels-
lack of that makes it kind of shaky.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Anime Alchemist podcast. My name is Emery.
My name is Gary.
My name's Martine.
It is episode 110. The numbers are getting harder and harder to remember. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we gotta. What are the other numbers before?
Yeah,
do
we
this?
really do.
Yeah, we're out of numbers. That's crazy that we actually got to that point.
Appreciate you guys for listening. For all those of you that might be new, we are three friends that just like talking about anime, sometimes manga. Just FYI, there's always a spoiler warning because nothing is ever safe or sacred. Granted, this episode, if you haven't watched this, you're just fucking up.
Yeah, no, these are animes that you definitely need to have watched because they
Like,
are,
we're gonna be
like,
talk about some stuff that like
some of the classics.
If you haven't watched it, maybe we'll convince you.
Yeah, we'll be bringing back the what anime scene would you use to convince someone to watch, and we'll let you figure that out later. But I guess just to be blunt, we're gonna be talking about Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter today.
Mhm.
Not animes that we've really talked too much about before, right? Probably Hunter x Hunter a little bit, because we're big fans, obviously. But Yu Yu Hakusho hasn't really been one that we've talked about.
I've always consistently said that Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the staples of like that golden era of anime.
Absolutely, yeah. When people think of like the big three, it's definitively One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. When you think of like the golden age, the golden trio per se, if it's something made up, I guess, by the anime community, we'd very easily say Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Yu Yu Hakusho. Those are some of the most influential anime, of the generation. You can find so much stuff in those three shows that have like really paved the way for a lot of modern anime that we get nowadays. And recently, I had actually just rewatched Yu Yu Hakusho from beginning to end because that's one of those that like would air on Toonami, back when we were younger. And I had watched a bunch of random episodes, and I remember, Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember really liking it, but I don't remember the complete storyline from beginning to end. So I was like, you know what? It's on Hulu. Let me, I really just felt like rewatching it. And boy, did I have a fucking blast watching that show. You guys had also rewatched it semi-recently. I guess like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I thought that this would be a really cool discussion to have today. For those who haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho, it's essentially my convincing as to why you should go. Especially if you're a fan of Hunter x Hunter, because for those who don't know, both Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho were written by the same person, Togashi. So
Before we get into that,
before we do get into Yu Yu Hakusho, though,
a couple things real quick. I'm just gonna defuse a bomb before it goes off. Yes, Gundam is fucking amazing. Sure, it set up a lot of fucking staples for y'all. Calm the fuck down, okay? I get it.
Yeah.
I had
honorable mention.
It's an honorable mention, absolutely.
And same with
Gundam set up
Inuyasha,
a whole
probably,
different
too.
genre. Yeah.
No, he's
iconic.
kind of right, bro.
Yeah.
That's like growing up, my experience when I was in high school and junior high, like the girls who did watch anime, one of the big things that got them into anime was Inuyasha.
Okay.
Mhm.
But
So,
okay, I just that now.
just to calm those people down.
Yeah. but there is some actual like Hunter like stuff to discuss. Recently, they released, I guess, his route or his I guess the plan of action for
the ending of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
So I mean, as a lot of like people know, Togashi suffers from a lot of like health issues, which is what's prevented, Hunter x Hunter from continuing, the anime specifically, and the manga. That's why the manga has been on hiatus for so long. Thankfully we got it back within this past year, and he's been slowly putting out, I guess, chapters. I haven't personally read much of the manga after the anime. I know some stuff that's happened, but I haven't really like gone and read it because my first experience to Hunter x Hunter was through the anime. So it's hard for me to kind of just switch up like that, especially after a long break. But he had come out recently and essentially released a statement on what the current state of Hunter x Hunter is in terms of what the ending would look like. And it's kind of like slightly sad news, I guess, because he's essentially saying, if I don't, make it to see the end of this series, these are like, this is the plan that I have at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. And he actually has come out and released a ending that, as of right now, isn't it wasn't a contender for the actual ending of Hunter x Hunter. Like, it's been ruled out. Mm-hmm. But he goes on to say that if he doesn't make it to the end, take this as the ending of Hunter x Hunter, and to please forgive him for not being able to make it to the end, which is really sad because this man is an absolute legend. Mm-hmm. The stories that he's created, he's an icon. I put him up there with Oda. I put him up there with Akira Toriyama. Like, that's just, you cannot be, I don't know, like, after making 2 back-to-back like classic animes like that, I feel like you've earned a spot up there with like one of the GOATs.
Shonen Master, bro.
Shonen Master, yeah. Like, you've influenced a whole generation of fans. And I guess we can like kind of discuss, that ending and what we think.
Everybody needs to understand what a like level of goated this man is. Do you guys know who his wife is?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
the creator of Sailor Moon.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Like, the amount of talent in that household is absolutely insane. That's
mad facts.
Yeah. Which is,
I would love to know what their house looks like. I'll be honest. Like, I know this is probably really weird, but I don't want to know it. Like, I don't know. I would love to know what their bank account looks like.
I bet it's
like, not because like I want to rob them or anything like that. I just want to be like, yeah,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's what your guys' hard work paid for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I bet. I mean, it's animes that have been just up there in terms of popularity for decades. Literal decades. But
I mean, Sailor Moon even got like remastered
exactly
recently.
Mm-hmm. Again, golden anime. It's shit that will live on for generations.
Like Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now we're getting Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
I don't know how accurate this is, but if like, Adult Swim really paid for that transition for Rick and Jerry, they made money off of that.
For Rick and Jerry?
Yes. And what season are we on right now? So season 6, yes, the fortune cookie episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they get Jerry to transform into the secretary, and then like Rick, suits upon suits, and then like he puts him in a suit. It's a clothing transition.
Oh my god!
But they talk about like, yeah, we bought it to save money, like in case you ever need to be like my assistant for an episode.
No way, really?
Yes.
I remember that episode,
like,
but I don't remember that.
Sailor Moon transition, so it's like,
oh,
I mean,
they bought
did
it.
they?
That's funny.
See?
That's funny.
That's what I'm saying. That's money right there.
That's true. You see Sailor Moon references all the time. One of my favorite ones that I remember just in recent memory was seeing. Do you remember in Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power? Remember I don't remember what universe they were, but like Ribrian and like all the like the female fighters and stuff.
Rangers,
the Love Rangers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they did their whole like transformations and shit, straight Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Like is panel for panel, honestly.
Sailor Moon is the godmother of Magic Girls.
Magic Girl, yeah. Magic Girl anime. So, yeah, no, it's crazy seeing that Togashi came out and actually released an ending. I don't think I've ever heard of another situation where mangaka kind of just came out and said, "Hey, if I don't make it, this is what we came up with." Now, he did say that there are other options for endings and that there's 3 other options in consideration. Option A being something that is potentially liked by what was it?
The majority
of people, like a what is it, 40 or the majority of people. I don't remember the exact percentage, but yeah, the majority of people would like with like maybe a dissatisfaction of like 10%. The second ending, which he says that, or not that one, the third one is his favorite. The second ending is a 50-50. Like, yeah, you might love it, you might hate it, but there's a 50-50 ending. And then option C is a 90% satisfactory rate, unsatisfactory rate, and like a 10% satisfactory. So he's like, this ending most people won't like.
But that's the one he wants to do the most.
But he says like, even knowing this, like, I still really personally like this ending because it's his story, and that's a totally fair.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, like of course, like you would kind of want something that would make your audience happy, but at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your story that you got to create.
I don't want to hear that from you, Mister. 80% wasn't enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, we're not debating on that. I'm just
reminding you.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
No, you are
Finish that word. I'll save it as a soundbite.
That's good.
Yeah. Or correct.
That's different. Okay, I wanted to support him. I wanted to see him fulfill his dreams.
Mm-hmm. You got
I
caught
want
up
to see
in
if
the
I can
emotion.
get yes.
Yeah.
If I can see him finish like the story that he wanted, yes, I'll take that.
Yeah. Even though you'll hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like you can kind of relate to that because any story that you create or any product that you're making yourself, sure, like you want to take opinions from other people, especially fans of yours, but like that shouldn't get in the way. That shouldn't get in the way of your vision of something, right?
Yeah, no.
And I feel like as content creators, we've also kind of experienced something like that too. We've seen some of the content that we make, maybe do really well online and people really like it, but if we don't really enjoy doing it,
We're just like,
we're like, we don't feel like there's enough like heart in it, or we're not motivated to do it. So to a certain degree, nowhere near as much as him, obviously we don't have that kind of influence, but to a certain degree I kind of understand that, and I respect him for still keeping it in consideration as one of the endings.
No.
Okay,
I mean,
so after going over all of that, we'll go over the ending. He kept it vague.
Yeah, it's a very vague ending.
They show Mito as a grandma. They show Gon's granddaughter talking about Grandpa Gon, which is crazy. Does that mean Mito's alive?
I guess so. She's like
She old as fuck.
Well, I don't know if they show Mito or they just talk about Grandma Mito.
Okay.
That's the vague part too. But they reference Grandma Mito, which is the one that raised Gon.
And then there's a kid named Jing, Jing, and he caught the Lord of the Lake.
Oh, it's a girl. No, a girl named.
Yeah.
Okay, a girl named Jing. She caught the Lord of the Lake. And what? They don't want to leave the island.
Nope. They want to stay on the island and like
live there forever.
Yeah.
Just together.
Yep. And it's implied that this Jin girl is, well, not implied. It's stated that she is the granddaughter of Gon, or Grandpa Gon.
And
Gon, that he was a like very famous hunter, right?
Yeah.
But even he like I think they, from what it stated, it seems kind of vague that like Gon had figured out that like he, unlike like Jin going out there looking for something, he had found that like he just wanted to be here.
He wanted to be there.
And like that's like something that like was instilled in his grandkid. That's like, no, like everything I need is here on this island.
Yeah, you don't have to go
He
out.
went out and saw the world.
The real world.
So
And, like,
it is kind of interesting. Yeah, like everything.
Whoa, oh, that's crazy.
So he left the what was it? The Dark Continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's what's so interesting is like you skip past all that.
Yeah.
It's like no, we're content to live on this on this little island in this little bubble.
Whaletail Island, man.
Yeah. It's just a very like textbook ending. It's like Gon he accomplished his goal of being a hunter. He already met his dad. I mean, we saw that in the anime.
He has a family.
He has a family in the future. They live on the island. Like nothing revolutionary happens in this ending. Nothing's like, oh shit, so like this person was
Like,
with
did he
that,
do,
or-
like, I
No,
mean,
nothing.
He even keeps it so vague. Where he's like, "Oh, this character, it might be the granddaughter or daughter or child
Or
of that character, and this
Yeah.
character may be related to that character."
oh, that's true. Like in perspective, you could
The
be
end.
you could be reading or be like the conversation could be directed towards the child of Gon.
Because there's like he just says that character. He never
Yeah.
name drops anybody except Mito, Gon, and the girl Jim.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the only named characters in this ending. So that's what makes it super ambiguous
flies
and open. Yeah.
That's a bird flying away
Yeah, and then just a bird. Oh my God, Aaron!
at the end.
Aaron makes a cameo at the end of Aaron. Too soon.
No, I think it's hilarious.
Do all good stories end with a bird flying away?
Oh my
I
God.
swear to God, it's the One Piece.
The One Piece is a bird. Morgan's big news.
Oh my God.
Nope.
One
Shutting that
Piece
down.
is his factory, his newspaper factory.
Yeah, how do we always bring One Piece into the conversation?
Because it's One Piece. It's the only thing that's equally as goated as all this.
Yeah.
What
So-
would you want to see as the ending?
Say what?
What would you want as the ending
Of One Piece?
of
Hunter x Hunter.
Huh. That's difficult.
It's difficult because like there's still so much. I mean, I personally haven't read much of the manga, so I don't even know what storylines he opened up to merit like, oh, this would be a really ideal ending, you know? I felt like we were so far away from the ending that like I couldn't come up with anything because I don't know.
I want to see, I guess, like personally, I would like because like seeing the adult Gon is such like a cock tease. Because like
well,
it's
they're cutting to grandpa.
yeah, exactly. Like,
We don't even get to see adult.
bro,
though,
you like you can't tease us with like that for like a second, and then we don't get that whole like era of him being the greatest fuck, like, you know, like he was an animal.
Yeah, like you would have liked to see him in his prime.
I want to see him prime. Oh, yes. Thank you. I want to see him in his prime.
Yeah. But is that like an ending worthy
You
type
know-
thing, or is that something you would just want to see in the story?
Honestly, honest to God, if you could give me as an ending him in his prime, genuinely putting like the beat down on his fucking dad, just to be like, yeah, now I am like considered like a better hunter than you.
Oh,
That's the ending I'd take.
maybe like sparring with Jing or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Be like, you wanted to go see the Dark Continent? That was cool. I got inspired by that. I went out, I did the same thing. I became like the strongest fucking thing on that fucking thing. Came back.
I pulled a you, but better
Yeah.
because I came back.
Like I'm you, but better.
Oh, I kind of like that.
I'd like it if they did an ending that paralleled old man. What's his name?
Netero.
Never?
Netero and Killwa's grandpa.
Silver? No.
Silver's the dad. Zoldyck, I don't remember.
Like, you know, they could have all the context of like, oh, you know, Kurapika went on to like get all the eyes, and like, oh, he had a child, and you know, she's got red eyes too, right?
Yeah.
Cover the things we want to see. Leorio's this world-renowned doctor.
Mhm.
You know, he established a country based off of
Yeah. Cover your main
medical.
cast, the
Yeah.
characters that we started the show off with. I would love to see a nod to Kurapika kind of rebuilding his clan because they were assassinated, right? He at least deserves that.
Yeah, agree.
That would be a great addition. I hope that that's mentioned in one of his other endings, you know, because I feel like that would play into the whole satisfactory rating system that he had mentioned. I feel like most fans would be pretty happy to hear that Kurapika avenged his clan and was able to rebuild it, you know, far into the future to where, like, you know, oh, like the Uchiha type thing. They're back and they're not evil or whatever. I don't know. And then Leorio too, like Leorio getting a moment to shine. He wanted to be
a doctor.
A doctor,
So,
yeah.
what if they showed a situation just like he was in, where there's this kid and his friend's dying from a disease, and he's like, "I'll cure him." Well, and he does,
Mhm.
right? Because no one could for him.
Yeah.
Situations
And it
And
doesn't
then
have to be extensive. It's just a
Killua?
nod.
and gone. Crazy world-ending threat, and it's like, all right, let me go drop you off. Like the lightning dragon
Oh
instead
my
of an aura
god.
one. I just feel like it'd be like perfect kind of A little catch up to where we are.
Yeah, getting to see both of them as like grown adults or something. Them still like associating, maybe even like sparring with each other or something like that. Them both being world renowned.
That's another one thing I would like to see also. Like, I kind of also was like, I'd love to see a Gon and Killua kind of like.
What if they were floor masters on that?
Oh,
the heavenly
bro, that they
arena?
would
On the
never
heavens
get
arena.
anywhere. I would feel like.
I'd feel bad for anyone trying to compete. Yeah.
I
Or what if they like even run the hunter exams too?
Okay, that'd be cool if they were like examineers or like the officiators, not like actual people like a Zodiac or anything like that. But in place of like the dude who was running, like follow me.
You know what I could genuinely see? I bet you guys would like this one. Killua takes over the Zoldyck family, and like he kind of gives like his descendants the choices that were given to him. Like his dad straight up told him like, I can see that like my dad raised me as an assassin and I raised you an assassin, but that doesn't make us the same people. You want to go hang out with your friends? Go on.
Dude.
The one thing I always wanted to do was be true to my friends, so you have to promise me you'll go do that. It'd be the same thing, he's like
instilling the same values that he
Exactly.
appreciated growing up.
like he can teach all of them to be strong and be able to protect themselves. But if they want to like, if they just want to be cold-blooded killers, cool, I can teach you how to do that. That's simple. But if you want to go out if you want to go out and you want to experience the world and see what life has to offer, by all means, and you will always have a place here at home. But if I find out if you're a shitty person out there, I'll come beat your ass myself.
I'll come be a father.
Yeah,
especially if you betray your friends.
If you
Like, that
betray
was
your
the big
friends,
thing.
I will
I'll come
drag
and
you
kill
back
you.
to this house myself.
That would be really good
Oh,
because
yeah.
that
They don't
would
kill.
truly show how Gon like specifically influenced him for the rest of his life.
Affected his family for generations.
Life. Yeah, that would be beautiful.
He saved his brother sister at the end, Aluka.
Sometimes, bro, we come up with really crazy good endings. I'm just like, fuck, man, we really do need to write a story.
We could come up with something. Yeah, it's just nice spitballing ideas because like it's gotta be hard doing it on your own too, And again, I didn't really have anything in mind when we first started recording. I was like, fuck, I couldn't think of a different ending, but like starting to reminisce on like the other characters like Kurapika, Leorio, Killua. I'm like, no, yeah, I would like them to kind of go in this path. Like this would make sense, and just I think it deserves a happy ending.
I got you.
So
I got
Biscuit's
one.
still looking young.
I got one that I bet will just, it's going to get all of y'all right now.
Okay.
Just imagine, a nice, like, built, older Gon, just a nice powerhouse Jajunkin, straight to Hisoka's face.
Oh,
He gets that punch that like he's been wanting, that one that he saved, I'm going to let this kid live. He's going to be my fight later on. And you finally get to see that like older Gon versus Hisoka, like that fight.
his ass.
Give me what daddy always wouldn't give me.
Oh
Give me what
God.
your daddy couldn't.
Oh my God.
There's a DBZA reference.
For you. There you go. That would be pretty cool.
What about Kite?
Oh, see, that's another thing.
Because he's in a girl's body now.
Yeah.
And he was a kid.
Oh shit! I forgot
So
that
he
comes
like
back.
low key has a reset on his Nen because he got reincarnated.
I
His
forget,
soul
is he
isn't a
aware?
child.
Yes.
He's aware.
Yeah, they're fully aware.
He literally was like born. He's like, I'm Kite.
And the koala is there to like
Look over them.
protect him.
Right.
Because like Kite also resembles like an individual in his past lives that he like remembered like doing wrong essentially.
Yeah. Oh dang. Yeah, there should be something there too. Maybe that it's a girl, right? That he gets reincarnated
Yeah.
into essentially. So maybe they grow up and be
Gon
like
marries
mentor.
Kite.
That's no. That's absolutely not.
Oh my god. Remember this, Kay.
That made me so uncomfortable right now.
Gon has been a man for a while.
Yes.
More so than like Killua.
Yeah, that's true.
This is why we don't write endings.
That is true.
He said it.
He did say it.
Now he knows how to take
he's
a lady
player,
out on
bro.
a date, bro.
God. Well, this is
Why do you think that one girl liked him so much?
Wink, winch, nudge, nudge.
You love doing that.
Yeah, I love Krillin. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is. Damn. Nah, that would be crazy. I do hope we get to see one of his actual endings though. So you know, here's to Togashi, man. Keep it up. Like, do your thing, but take your time. Please don't fucking kill yourself doing it.
And that's I just
Hire a
want,
bunch of people to do it for you.
I just want to point out, like, that is like proof enough that just because we don't talk about it does not mean we don't love a specific series. You know, it's sometimes like we're an anime podcast. Sorry, you know, we don't talk about a lot of manga related things. We will keep you up to date on like stuff that we do love.
Yeah.
We just went on a tangent for like what 20 minutes on Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Manga related stuff.
Yeah,
too.
manga related stuff too.
Not even.
It's just like hypothetical situations of a story that could or could not end. Like we love stories like these, but we have to talk about like the modern stuff, the stuff that's trending now, like JJK, One Piece. Like we get it because we are really big fans of that, but we also love our classics like these.
Like, watch this. Just like we've been talking about a classic, here's another one that I promise you is going to be like a fucking black hole that's like a One Piece tangent. Let's talk about the other masterpiece. Martin?
YuYu Hakusho is a masterpiece. It's so fucking good. And you're not going to like me for this later when we really get into it, but I genuinely think I liked it more than Hunter x Hunter, dude. Like, as a whole, I think it's more enjoyable. I'm going to touch back on that a little bit later, though, because before we get into really talking about YuYu Hakusho, I do want to announce for those listening, if you haven't heard, we're getting a live action YuYu Hakusho this month, too. Like, it's produced by Netflix, but it's in Japanese, though. Like, it's fully...
Sounds good to me.
Subtitles. Good.
I'm very curious to see how this works, because One Piece definitely gave me a little bit of hope. You can do anime in a live action format and it not be shit. Now, do I expect this to be the greatest fucking thing? Absolutely not.
They're gonna skip all of the Spirit Detective stuff.
They are probably going to be skipping a shit ton of stuff. From the trailers, like, you can just tell.
I'll be honest. Like, I'll be honest. I think personally, what the new art to it is, do it as a series, do episodes. Don't try to cram as much as you can into a movie. That's a terrible fucking idea, okay?
Yeah, I think they kind of at least started realizing that.
I hope so.
Dragon Ball Evolution should have been the wake up call.
Well, they tried a series with Death Note, didn't they? Or was that a movie?
There was a movie. I don't know if there was a series for that.
I don't know.
Oh, wait.
There is something
No,
that
it was
did a
a movie.
series.
It was a movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, they tried to do a series for Cowboy Bebop.
That's what it was.
Cowboy
It did
Bebop
not
is a
work
series.
out.
No.
And it's crazy because I thought Cowboy Bebop would be like the perfect anime to be
Same.
live action. It just, all the elements made sense for it to be live action.
I mean, the elements were there.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboy Bebop isn't that outlandish. Like, yeah, it's a space
They did
cowboy.
Star Wars.
But they've done, yeah, exactly. They've done Star Wars, bro. Like, I thought that this
Guardians
would
of
be a
the
really...
Galaxy.
I genuinely thought it'd be a toss-up
Star
for
Trek.
them. But I
That's
guess
what
not.
I'm saying. Like, it.
The space elements was not the hard part.
No.
So I don't really know what happened with that. It's disappointing because I
Poor
love
writing.
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, it's poor writing, yeah. So I am kind of curious to see. I'm definitely going to watch Yu Yu Hakusho live action, especially after watching, the original series. Because from the trailers, it looks like they're going to be obviously doing the beginning. They have all the main characters and stuff. You see Hiei, Kurama, Kuwabara, Botan. But it looks like they skip a few of the major arcs between the beginning and the Dark Tournament. I don't think we're going to be getting the Saint Beasts arc, the 4 Divine Beasts or whatever. It seems like they're going to be skipping over that, which is a shame because it's a really good arc. And they probably will skip the whole saving Yukina thing. Hiei's sister and all that. That's super short, and I think they're probably going to rewrite some of it because the Toguro brothers are clearly shown in the trailer. So I don't know what direction they're going to go in.
I wonder if they're gonna answer the question of if Yusuke's mom is a prostitute or not.
I thought she was.
I mean,
It's like very much alluded to.
Yeah,
They
it's
don't
very big.
confirm it.
Oh, I believe that from like the beginning. I just kind of assumed. Oh, I think. Oh, you know what it is in the manga? It might be more clearly stated than the anime. The anime has a lot of
First
censorship.
chapter right here. We'll check it out.
Yeah. Well, because I think I remember because Mark is reading the manga for it instead of watching it. Totally not Mark. Again, he is doing a review series on Yu Yu Hakusho. It's fantastic. Check it out.
he's trying to binge it in 30 days.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, which is insane. That's a lot of
That's
fucking
a
episodes.
lot.
dog.
Well, he's not watching. He's reading.
Yeah.
That's why. It's faster reading it than... And that's his job, too. Like,
True, yeah.
he dedicates, like, his weeks to, like... reading, creating the content and everything. Like for him, it's a full-time job. So props to him, dude. He does amazing content.
Man's living the life.
He's living the life.
Okay, so after watching it, what do you think?
It's a
How do you
fucking, if not 10 out of 10, 9.5, 9.8 out of 10.
Still holds up?
It still holds up. It holds up as good, if not better, than some modern stuff right now. And for me specifically, I think it's because the animation and story is just a little more simple, and it lets you appreciate a lot more of a show. With newer shows like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, a lot of that stuff, it looks great. The animation looks fantastic, but sometimes the animation can be excessive, I guess, and it can be a little jarring to figure out what's going on, you know? In one of the JJK episodes, and again, this is no hate towards the animators, you know, they do what they can, they get instructions from their studios, but sometimes it's just so chaotic that you're a little lost on what's going on. 90s anime had a completely different feel to it, different vibe. It was more of just like the drawn art style that we know from Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, all of that. And I think it just works really, really well because it's not over the top. You know what's going on at any given moment in any fight. And they do scale up. It's not like it starts off at one level and stays the same. Yu Yu Hakusho is a very clear example of how the fighting and the power system just escalates more and more and more until the end. But there was never a moment where I was like, wait, I can't follow what's going on. It was never too fast paced. It was never too chaotic. It was just like, I don't know. It's hard to describe, I guess, but it was a pleasure to watch. It was easy to watch for me. And then the same goes for the storyline. The storyline for Yu Yu Hakusho is nothing complex. It's pretty straightforward. You know, you get Yusuke, who dies essentially in the first episode.
No, but you see him die for a good reason.
For a good reason.
That's something that's different. Is like he dies saving a kid from getting hit by a car, and then you find out right after like he wasn't supposed to die.
Yeah.
Like the kid wasn't supposed to die, so he just sacrificed his life for no reason.
Yeah.
And while the lady who's supposed to take him to the afterlife is reading off all the shit that he did in his past life, he's sitting there like, okay, but is he okay though? You know, like from right there, you're like, I fucking like this guy.
He's just like a good character right off the bat, you know, not a good character in the sense that like, oh, he's a nice guy. Like, no, he's a punk. He likes starting fights in school. He's a delinquent, you know, the typical like anime delinquent character, but he has a good heart. And you see that in that first chapter and in the first episode. And especially when like he gets offered the chance to go back to life, right? And he doesn't immediately say yes. He's like, nah, not really. I think I'm good. And Botan even gives him the opportunity to like, okay, well, like, think about it because you weren't supposed to die. That kid was going to survive whether you jumped in or not. So this was unexpected. And then as the episode progresses, we see everyone, all of his friends and family react to his death. They host a funeral and everything. And man, that episode is so emotional for a first episode. You see his mom breaking down, crying. You see his like
childhood best friend
and his girlfriend all like, you know, losing it because he died. And then he starts realizing, oh, these people really cared about me. I meant something to them. You know, it'd be kind of selfish of me to not take this opportunity to come back to life for them. And then by the end of that episode, he decides to come back, you know, agreeing to be the spirit detective, you know, for the spirit world. And right off the bat, that gives you a roadmap on who this character is, what the kind of character he is. And I just think that's so cool because not a lot of first episodes always do that. Sometimes it takes an entire season before you have a good grasp on what kind of character your main protagonist is.
They established that like he is a good character, but the only people that know he's a good character is everybody else. He himself is just like, I'm a delinquent.
Yeah.
Like I'm a piece of shit. Right? Like everybody would be better off without me.
It's nice because the entire story essentially follows Yusuke learning who he is and him understanding that like he is a good character. He's a good person and everybody believes that already. And they know that they hold Yusuke to a high standard. They're like, look, you're a punk, you start fights and shit like that, but you have a good heart and you can be a good person. That's why they offer him the spirit detective position. That's why his friends care about him. And it's like his journey as the protagonist to learn that about himself and grow, and it's an identity type thing.
Yeah, Yusuke learned the power of self-awareness.
Essentially, yeah, he learns who he is, what his values are, and you see that time after time in each arc. And one of my, I mean, again, we can't talk about the show without talking about the Dark Tournament. Obviously, YuYu Hakusho is known, if it's known for anything, it's for the Dark Tournament. It essentially set the bar alongside like Dragon Ball, and I'm talking about Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, for tournament arcs in anime. To this day, the Dark Tournament is like an S tier tournament arc.
Yeah.
There are very little tournament arcs out there that can compete with that. It's perfect. It has so much drama in it. The action alone is phenomenal. You get different variety of fights, one-on-ones, you know, team fights.
The rules.
The roles.
The rules they throw in there just to fuck with stuff.
Yeah, like it's a little bit of everything.
Fresh.
You get power-ups, you get growth between the characters, you get backstories on the villains, and it all culminates to the final showdown between Toguro and Yusuke, which is what you're waiting for the entire time, right? But all in all, every fight is just worth it, and you're just like eager to get there, but you're enjoying the ride. It's not like, oh, I can't wait till this is over. It's, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. And I think the climax of the Dark Tournament is like one of the best ever. That fight is just so good, and the conclusion for that also made me realize that, like, dang, I never realized how deep of a character Toguro was. As a kid, I never really realized it, right?
And you're just like, oh, what a big asshole.
Yeah, he's just the big lumbering giant who's just really fucking swole and strong, and that's all you saw as a kid.
Now that you're older, you're like, oh,
damn, him and Genkai went way back.
They went way
They
back.
like dealt with these actual issues. Oh, that's what she was trying to teach him.
Yeah. Like the relationship between Genkai, Toguro, and Yusuke is so complex, and I thought that was so cool because Genkai and Toguro had that relationship where like they grew up together, they were warriors, they fought in the tournament in the past too, and they respected each other. They both had a mutual respect. But Toguro started falling down the wrong path, and that desire for more power after his like teammates or his friends or whatever were killed, that's what spurred him to go off on the wrong path to seeking all of this power in like a darker way. And Genkai was always opposed to that, and that was like her fear in teaching Yusuke, right? Because essentially like Yusuke and Toguro are like, they're mirrors.
Two sides of the same coin.
Two sides of the same coin, you know. Yusuke made one wrong move and he could have ended up like Toguro, achieving all of this power for the wrong cause. And I think that's super, super cool when like your two main antagonists and protagonists face off, not only in like battle and like action, but like in their ideals.
Ideally, or yeah.
Yeah, it adds a lot of weight to the fight. And it I don't know, it grips me. Like, it's really just good storytelling that I think Togashi is just fantastic at. And then you see, you know, carry on into the rest of the show, and then later in HunterxHunter too. That's what's been probably one of my favorite parts about watching it, was that you got to see a lot of inspiration for HunterxHunter and how he started growing and developing as a writer through figuring out the nooks and crannies of YuYu Hakusho until he got like really good with the storytelling and he knew the direction he wanted to go.
Yeah, the only time that YuYu Hakusho got like a little slow for me was like kind of during the Spirit Detective point. You know, like what that span in the beginning where it kind of, you know, just like Bleach became a bit episodic.
Yeah.
Just
Monster of the Week.
Monster of the Week.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably the slowest part for me. I think it picked up like around the Genkai tournament, probably.
A lot of older anime suffer from that. Like even Inuyasha, early on, Monster of the Week.
Yeah, it's a very common trope. But like back in the day, it's not that it was a trope. It was just like
That's how they wrote.
That's how
That's
you
how they
build
did
up.
it.
That's how you build up. It's like cool. Like we establish how strong they are. Now we're gonna build.
Yeah, it's cool seeing shows like these because obviously, like if you look at it, if you watch a show like Yu Hakusho now, it's full of cliches, full of them. But they weren't cliches when they came out.
Yeah, no.
You have to put yourself in that mindset. When it was coming out, it was still...
It was a different time.
It was a different time. It was still relatively new. Like, the only other anime to do similar things was Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and all of those, right? So, Yu Hakusho really like paved the way for future generation of anime, and you see a lot of that if you've watched Bleach, if you're watching JJK, if you've seen Demon Slayer. There's so many things in Yu Yu Hakusho that you can see, oh hey, Bleach probably got a lot of inspiration from this or from that. Same with JJK. Like
There's a lot in Naruto as well.
a lot in Naruto too. And I think that's really fascinating because you get to go back in time and kind of like see what anime was like before and how it's evolved till now, you know?
Dude, they did in Yu Yu Hakusho. They do some of the most anime things ever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna start off at 80%, get this done quick. He's like, oh, yo, let me just release my spirit pressure.
I was holding back the whole time.
Yeah, I was holding back the whole time.
Yeah. But they were hype and they were done the right way, I think.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
They're done the right way because that's how it was done first.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of great whenever it's like, you look back on those series and it's like, I mean, you want to say they're cliches, but it's like, are they cliches if they kind of set the standard?
Yeah, exactly. They set the standard for everything else. Everything after that, if they start mocking it, or not mocking it, but like replicating it, then it becomes a cliche, I think. And just because it's a cliche, it doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
Like, it's just your interpretation of it. It can be a good cliche if you like that trope, or it can be a really annoying one, you know? Like, the pervs in anime is a really annoying cliche sometimes, or it can be done in a way where it's like, okay, well, it adds something to it.
If they're a perv, but they're like dumb shit fucking like strong, I'm all for it.
Like, it's things like...
Horrible. They can just take what they want.
not like that.
You want to reword it, buddy?
Like Master Roshi.
Oh, okay.
Master Roshi,
That's
like...
even worse.
Well, nowadays,
I mean,
he doesn't
yeah.
really, like...
He's not as bad. You know, he's like a low key perv, but like...
Early Dragon Ball Roshi would not
you know,
fly
think about it. You know, he is a piece of shit, and like he has the strength to be a real piece of shit, but you know, he just stays as a scrawny old man who just looks at dirty
he could do a
magazines.
lot worse.
He could do a lot worse.
Yeah, that's fair.
But sorry about that.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
Cliches.
Well, and like after watching it, I guess I really wanted to have this conversation with you guys. I wanted to kind of compare the two series, Yu Yu Hakusho and HunterxHunter, you know, because they're both written by the same person. They're both shonen. They both have like, you know, power system and fights and stuff. So I wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were comparing the two and seeing which show did certain things better in your opinion. You know, there's no right or wrong. You can like whatever you want, but like for example, what would you say like is a really good strength in each show?
The way they cut from moment to moment. Like in Yu Yu Hakusho, the pacing is so fast. It's like, you know, all of this stuff happened. Cut. Okay, so we're post training. We're at the place. We're ready to get into things.
Yeah.
Right? HunterxHunter likes to do like kind of smash cuts like that too. It's like, oh, okay, end of arc. Cut. 12 months later, we're like, oh, training arc cut 5 months in.
Yeah, it's like a style that he tends to have.
I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, because it's different. Normally, other shonen kind of go immediately into the training arc and spend a really long time in that training arc, like Naruto and stuff like that. But this one kind of just gets to the point.
And he doesn't show us everything, and he really plays that to his strengths.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery, and that's what keeps you wanting to watch, in my opinion. There's like, whoa, he already trained. The training arc happened already. What
are they capable of?
What can
what
he
are we
do
about
now?
to do?
That's what made me like want to keep watching each and every episode, especially like right before the Dark Tournament.
And like feeling like that, like, oh, what can he do? What are they capable of? Like you get that with Gon when he, you know, goes full rage mode.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and speaking of Gon, which character do you like better, Yusuke or Gon, as
Yusuke.
like the main character of their show?
I'm gonna have to say Yusuke simply because I have always liked Killua a little more than Gon.
Yeah.
That and Leorio, like I like it more than Gon.
Yeah. HunterxHunter I think suffers from like its side characters being better or like more interesting than the main character. Yu Yu Hakusho I think has a very solid protagonist that you like just as much, if not better, than the side character. You can still have favorite side characters, but you can't say you don't like Yusuke. Probably say you
Yeah.
don't like him, right? Like Sam's take on why he doesn't like Gon. It's not a popular take, but it's a valid take, I guess. You know, like not
I mean, you
everyone-
can't
No,
say
we
he's
can
not
all
wrong.
agree. He has a twisted morality that doesn't always stay consistent. It's more based off of what benefits him.
Mhm.
Like that's
Oh,
the truth.
I'm gonna
it's
be honest,
based off of benefit.
I thought you were talking about Sam.
No. Oh my God. You heard it here. Sam's piece of shit. Anyways, we're
Love you,
moving
Sam.
on.
I did that. I was like, damn, Gary, there ain't no reason to light him up like
you
this, bro.
eating him up, dog. Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, he's talking about Gon.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Gon. So yeah, no, Yusuke, he's kind of more likable too.
Mhm.
Like, let's be honest.
I will say,
Gon, he's selfish.
Yeah.
Not like in the funny Luffy way.
yeah. No, I agree.
Like he'll put people's lives at risk. He got him and Killua in some fucked up situations.
Mm-hmm.
More often than not.
Yeah, just saying.
But he's also like younger. He's a child too.
So is Killua.
Yeah, true. But Kilo was a very specific head case with the way he was raised. I think
That's true. He got
Gon
that pin
wasn't
in his
really
head.
raised. You know.
Get that animal.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So I think like not to I guess justify why he's like that, but it's probably the reason. Like Yusuke at least had an upbringing, you know, and he has people around him. He went to normal school. Like it's a very different
It was
environment.
tough though. Like you could tell just from the start. Like he's had a tough life.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think that made me like him more too. It's like okay, so like stereotypical kind of Disney protagonist. Like oh, you know, dad's missing, we're poor,
Mm-hmm.
mom works all the time.
Disney protagonist, but make it anime.
YuYu Hakusho it even got the romance.
It does, and I didn't know that he had written a romance anime or romance manga before Yu Yu Hakusho. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue.
Small thing, right?
Small thing, yeah. And you can see like the art style is super similar to Yu Yu Hakusho.
That's why he's so good with like pulling so much out of the characters that he writes.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that like Yu Yu Hakusho just completely excels in compared to Hunter x Hunter. I think there's way more emotion in that show than in Hunter x Hunter. In Hunter x Hunter, I don't really feel anything like, not emotionally speaking, like kind of the romance, I guess, but also just like
Hunter x Hunter never
how do I
made you cry.
explain this? Hunter x Hunter didn't make me cry
Not at any point.
at any point.
At any point,
No.
You're a heartless
the
bitch.
king, you're a heartless piece of shit.
Which
The king and fucking Kamugi.
that was good. Okay, but it took to the end of the end of the anime. But it and
But
like
did your
yes, it
statement
made
not
me
just say-
feel. It made me feel for sure, but it didn't like make me cry.
Wow.
And Yu Yu Hakusho, that first episode hit like a truck. it like it.
I'm just
What
saying.
did it? YuYu Hakusho lubed him up and had him all ready. Hunter x Hunter made him wait for it. That's the problem. He wants to get fucked.
It
at
was
the
just a
start, not
really
at the
big
end.
tone shift, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
At least like Yu Yu Hakusho was consistently like some emotion, then action, then some emotion, then action. Like it, you got a little bit all the way through, and then at the very end, like it was an emotional ending because he does end up with Keiko, and like I'm actually really happy that he does end up with Keiko because she was a very loyal character to him.
Sometimes he confuses me so much.
What do you want from me?
So much.
What?
Like I know you love your shonen animes, but then like I hear you talk about them, I'm like, wow, he really he likes complex shit. And then I'm just like, fuck, there's so much shit we've recommended. Why did you have to go back and rewatch something?
Because I wanted to make sure that like, I know my classics,
Fine.
so I can appreciate everything that came after it.
I
That's
need you to go back and start rewatching some Gundam then.
which one?
Any Gundam.
Gundam?
Yeah.
Gundam?
Yeah.
Aw.
Staple, bro.
Yes. I watched some of it as a kid, but that's another one that like I'd watch randomly, and I don't remember the storyline
I'm
whatsoever.
pretty sure there's a good
Watch-
Gundam
watch
Zero
Iron
remake.
Because there's
Blood.
always-
no, just watch Iron Blood Orphans.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That one's fun.
That's a good one.
Fun.
Like, I mean,
Fun in quotations.
I mean, like, listen to the name.
Iron, what was it?
Iron Blood Orphans.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Right? I'm sorry.
Another thing I wanted to compare is how would y'all compare the side characters from Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho?
Oh, bro, Kuwabara, best boy. Kuwabara, best boy. He was like, nah, man. Everybody hates me, wants to beat the shit out of me. I'll take a beating so my homie doesn't get fired from his job. He needs that to support his family. He just took beating
I
for
feel
like a week.
That's probably a more consistent attribute that you can see carry on throughout their work. Is that I can do anything with a main character, but watch this, I can do crazy shit with the side characters. Side characters will never fucking disappoint.
Yeah, no, he writes phenomenal side characters.
Like, it's really hard to like watch, like if you go watch a series maybe like one time through, if you can go back and just reference their side characters' names like nothing, clearly they were good.
Yeah, definitely. And you can do that with both shows, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can. Absolutely.
Because like you have your Killuas and stuff, but you also have Hiei, like, and the shit he does, dude. The, like an edgy kid that can just do some crazy shit. And you have, I love Kurama, honestly. Kurama was a very good character.
Kind. He's the Sanji.
Yeah, like the Sanji type of character, minus the perverted aspect.
Perverted, yeah.
But like he was just like such a kind character. I felt bad anytime he got his ass beat, you know? Like he just, every time he was getting his shit rocked, I always felt like, damn, he doesn't deserve it. Like,
because he's so nice.
He's so nice. He's just honorable as fuck. You know, remember that one fight in the Dark Tournament where he's fighting that one guy and the telepathy? He was like, hey, like, I don't want to actually fight. They're making me do this. Like, you know, please, like, you know, just bring me out or whatever so we don't have to fight. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, like, you know, I'm sorry you're going through this. And he does that and he gets tricked by that guy. He's like, fucking, you know, got your ass. Like, that's fucking slimy, you know? And like Kurama, he's a powerhouse too, especially when he gets his demon form.
Yeah,
he can hold up. And it's just the situations where he does get, like, you know, his shit rocked in fights and stuff, it's usually either because of outside things messing with the fight, like with the rules and shit, they kept changing shit up, or they were cheating or something like that, or using shit that they really shouldn't. Like,
it's kind of a point in which you get to see this character who's very honorable go down a path of just like unself like righteousness shit, like, you know, like there's gonna be lying and cheating and deception.
He kind of starts doing some of it a little bit too, because he understands, like, gotta survive.
Yeah,
gotta do what I gotta do.
That's part of the path, you know.
Yeah, you know, I think like the running theme of identity for Yusuke in this show applies to almost all the side characters too, if you think about it. Because Kurama has that identity crisis where he was originally a demon, escapes the demon world, and comes
raised by his mother,
raised by, you know, a human mother, develops his whole human life, and essentially becomes one of them, and then starts having that crisis in the Dark Tournament and later on where he's like, do I go back to being that full demon, or do I enjoy my life as a human and like that whole, the relationships I've established there and with my friends, with Yusuke and Kobara and all of them, right? And then especially with Hiei too, especially when you get to the end of the show, he was a villain. He was the Vegeta of the show at the beginning. You know, he fought Yusuke and everything, and he ends up having such a huge character arc that he ends up being allies with them and stopping like the human world from being destroyed by other demons. He's going against his own kind to protect his friends. That's good character writing if I ever saw it. And he has to like kind of battle with that, like that identity. Like, do I accept who I am as like the demon that you know eats people and shit like that, or
am I more than that?
Or am I more than that, and do I go down my own path? Right. I think.
And then he masters his black dragon.
Yeah.
Something I want to note though, like, I am not trying to hate on it in any way. I don't want to say it like, but personally,
power system of Hunter x Hunter is better.
Thank you.
I'll give you that because it's more well thought out.
I fucking love you. It had to be said. I was like, I'm sorry. Like that power system is one of the best power systems in fucking anime.
Yeah.
Today.
No, I can agree with you on that because it's definitely more explained, complex, well thought out. Like you can pinpoint like, oh, he can do this because of this, or they can do that, and they like it makes sense. In YuYu Hakusho, there's not really a power system. That's the thing. It's the lack of that makes it kind of shaky.
Yeah,
it feels like the whole you know, in Bleach, the little
extra like barrier and like the moves they can do.
Oh, the keto.
Yeah, the keto.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. It feels like that.
Yeah,
right.
They just pull it out of their ass.
Pull it out of their ass, and like they're capable of doing things. right? And like
Crazy
that's how
things.
other characters do. Like in Yu Yu Hakusho, they're like, "Oh, you thought you had me, but I can do this."
And, like,
you're
and
"Yo,
how
what the
can you do
fuck?"
that? Because like, yeah,
And no explanation either. Just like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, convenience."
yeah, that and like the power scaling is probably something that Yu Yu Hakusho suffers from a little bit, in my opinion, because if you pay, I mean, I hate power scaling in anime, especially shonen, but you kind of have to because it's a shonen.
Mm-hmm.
The power scaling aspect of it kind of doesn't make sense because Yusuke, at his very first fight in the Dark Tournament, he has to pull out everything he's got, essentially, right? Aside from him breaking his chains or whatever. But he's like struggling in that fight, you know? It's very evenly matched, and that's at the very beginning. Goes off to fight Toguro at the end, right? Is like does not stand a chance at all. Breaks the chains, you know, and can kind of keep up with an 80% Toguro. Then Toguro goes and pulls out 100%, beats his ass down, right? But then I think it suffers from like a power of friendship type thing where like, oh, Kuwabara died. Oh no, I have to release all of my power. And then he goes and does, you know, the protagonist thing where he beats the bad guy, right? So that I'm kind of like, not my favorite thing, but I also get it because it's an older anime. I give it a lot of passes because of that, I think, but that doesn't mean it's still good writing.
Oh, it was his first outing as a writer.
Yeah.
In terms of like for shonen,
And he's
he did an amazing job.
Oh, for a first time shonen like that, dude. What the fuck? That's insane.
Can you
It
imagine?
the weight?
I'm sorry. This is like an intrusive thought just popped in my head, and like I just want you guys to like dabble with it real quick. Could you imagine growing up in like the 70s
No.
and and like you're watching Dragon Ball and like for the first time you're just like hearing Goku explain like his grandpa and like what happened to it and like, you know, why he doesn't look at the moon and stuff, and it's just like, is he the thing that killed his grandpa? And then like you see the great ape for the first. Can you imagine like growing up that like at that time and just being like,
Realizing that for the first time.
Akira Toriyama, you savage! Like,
That would, man.
He killed his
What
own grandpa.
he's
Hi, Mister. I'm.
He's the mountain monster. Like,
Yeah, man. I wish I could have experienced that for the first
Bro,
time.
they pulled that
Insane.
shit with Chopper.
oh,
Look, anime tropes, dog.
Oh, again, you can see a lot of tropes that push onto other shows. And lastly, one of the other things I think that I think Yu Yu Hakusho suffers from is that it can't commit to killing characters.
Genkai should have been dead.
Genkai should
That was
died.
bullshit. That was
Genkai
bullshit.
should have
Let's
died,
be
dude.
real.
Yeah,
Commit.
like that's probably my biggest gripe of the Dark Tournament is like, damn, all of that to
You know
avenge Genkai and everything. But for
That's
her
what
to-
JJK got over it, bro.
But
They killed the
see,
good characters.
think about this. Think about this. You have that moment, right? Or you see this, right? I bet at the time got a lot of negative feedback. I'm sure a lot of people were like, "You should have killed him. You should have killed him."
It's like us saying Goku
Hunter,
should
Hunter.
have stayed dead.
Hunter, Hunter. What did they give us?
Okay,
Yep.
bring him back.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
ah,
man.
fuck.
I'm just
Can't
saying.
even stay dead.
Yeah, but it's
Shit.
a different situation.
Yeah, but like they straight up like, you know, like imagine watching it, you know, week by week, and like you like again, we had no context at the moment.
Yeah.
Knuckle
You see
didn't
Kai
die.
die and like you get attached. It was like,
Oh yeah.
Knuckle and Shoot didn't die.
No.
yeah,
Oh, Netero died.
Netero, okay. but
Netero was a
he's suicide.
death.
he's super dead.
He's
Yeah.
suicided. There wasn't many like our
King died.
characters' deaths.
And Kamugi died.
Yeah. Well, I think like characters that like on that are on our side, I guess.
Oh,
You know, like more
Like
of
our
the protagonist type
POV.
thing.
Yeah.
Like the Genkais. Genkai would be the equivalent of what? Either Netero or Kite, would you say?
Bisky.
Bisky.
She even has a younger form.
did Shoot die? Shoot did die, didn't he?
Shoot.
No, he was gonna, but then
He's the one that
somehow
like
barely
became super
recovered,
old and
right?
stuff, right?
No, he's the one that had like the floating arm and like he would like lock up. Like if he touched you, he would like seal it away essentially.
Fuck.
He was
I
the coward,
vaguely
the coward guy. Remember Knuckle and Shoot? There's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I do remember him.
Did
now.
Shoot die?
I don't
Live?
remember if he died or not.
I think he lived. I'm pretty sure he lived because you see him like pull himself out of there, and then Knuckle shows up, and he's like, "I did what I could. Let's get the fuck out of here."
Well, like I think where Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't really kill off any characters except for like a couple. At least Hunter x Hunter, it may not kill off a lot of main characters, but at least it killed off like a side character or two that was relevant,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of like Civilians.
YuYu Hakusho is very much inspired by Dragon Ball Z. They can't commit to death.
It played it a lot safer in that regard.
No, they got Dragon Balls in there. They can bring people back. They do it in Yu Yu Hakusho.
The only way that
Gon was supposed to be dead and he got brought back.
Yeah.
That had to have been like a trope back in the day. It's just like, let's play with death.
Well, I think it has
It's
to do with like
irrelevant.
popularity
Fake
polls.
out.
Like if you kill off a popular character, then people lose reason to watch that show. So that's maybe why.
So you
they
just
don't.
kill him in the first episode?
But how good would it have been in Naruto
Isekai.
if they killed off Sasuke? Like if Sasuke got killed and then it was like a Sakura and Naruto trying to avenge Sasuke's death, but then they meet Itachi and team up with him. Like that could have been interesting.
Let me pose a question to Bunny Lord real quick. Say you were watching Naruto and Naruto Shippuden for the first time, week to week and everything. If they did at some point in the middle of the story kill off Sasuke, right? Him being, say, like he's one of your favorite characters, would you have considered not watching it because they killed off a favorite character? She says she would drop it. Yeah. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that would feel that way. Like imagine, spoiler warning for JJK again, if you haven't seen the newest season, Nobara, right? We all know she died in the last episode. There are a lot of Nobara fans, and I have seen so many reactions online of people being like, why do they keep killing off my favorite characters? First it was Nanami, then it was Nobara. Like, I don't even want to watch the show anymore. There are some people with legitimate like gripes, and that's fair to them if that's the kind of anime that they want to watch, and they do consider dropping the show because they've killed off those important characters. So that's probably why so many creators really balance back and forth whether or not they kill a fan favorite or not. If they killed off Kuwabara actually at the end of the Dark Tournament and he didn't show back up ever again, I bet you some people would have been like, man, he was one of my favorite characters,
but
I don't really want to watch anymore.
What if
they would give him the right send off though? That's the thing.
Naruto actually killed off Kakashi?
In the Pain arc?
Yeah.
And we would have never gotten that Obito and Kakashi fight, dude.
I mean, like it's upon like that same kind of level. Like, they
Yeah,
died.
but we
Like,
coulda
he was
got
a
a-
really good side character. Everybody loves Kakashi, but then like
Yeah.
brought it back. It was like, we can breathe again.
Let me pose this to you. In Black Clover, if they killed off Yami
I would lose my goddamn shit.
early on, like in the elf arc,
Okay, I'll put it to you like this.
early elf arc,
Okay,
would you have considered like,
I'm gonna be completely honest. While I was reading and while I was watching, there was a moment where I was like, because they killed off Julius, and I like, dude, I'm dead serious. It hurt me.
yeah.
I was like,
Do I even?
and then
wanna
when he
keep
came back,
watching?
I was like, thank fucking God, thank God.
So there you go. That's probably why so many people do it, man. It's just like some people
heart
seriously consider dropping shows after certain characters die.
If they killed Yami, I would be upset. If they kill,
Her,
I'm gonna lose my goddamn.
dude. Yeah, they could have if they killed her off in the elf arc. Like say if Black Clover was as committed to killing off characters as Jujutsu Kaisen, you could have lost Marileona, Yami, and maybe like
William.
Like say you lose most of the squad captains. Would you like consider watching that if all of your favorite characters are gone? Because like, yeah, I know you
my
like
God, what
Asta.
if you
a
lost
lot,
Finral?
oh, I would lose my shit if they. Yeah, I love Finral.
Gary didn't like that one.
No, I didn't.
Oh, but
Like if they killed Luck.
Yeah. Ugh,
on the other side of that, right? To bring
Don't
a
make that
different
face. There's no chapters, you fuck.
not yet.
to bring a different anime into the mix that also kills off characters. Akame ga Kill. Spoiler warning for Akame ga Kill.
They do it in the first fucking episode.
They kill people off almost every other episode.
Bro, POV. This is your main character. Him and his friends are finally leaving this village. They got it. They're going out because they're gonna get some funds to build this place up because they need it. Homie got separated, but he makes it to the town that they planned on staying in. Gets taken in by somebody who was nice. Offers them a free meal. He goes with them. Plot twist: they're all evil murderers. His friends are already dead and flayed, and he's on his own.
First episode.
Kame
by the
ga
way.
kill.
Yeah. That sets the tone for what kind of show it is, right? But at least it sets the tone. You know what you're getting yourself into from the beginning.
Yeah, once that blonde bitch starts going all crazy, you're like, oh, it's this kind of anime. Hold on.
And I think from there, that's like the universal message of, hey, maybe don't get attached to anybody in this show. They
Yep.
clearly aren't scared to kill anyone off. So in that, like, your entire cast of characters, all of the characters you like in that show end up dying, dude.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Eren killed off his own mom.
Yeah.
That was his favorite character.
If they would have killed off Mikasa like in season 1 or 2, that would have made for you. But there are a lot of Mikasa fans out there, man.
I mean, we all heard.
No,
we all
I'm
saw
sorry,
him-
not Mikasa. Levi. They kill off Levi in the first season. That would have made a ripple effect for the rest of the show.
I honestly was prepared for death the entire time.
Yeah, but you've watched a lot of different shows, and I think you're like used to that. But there's a lot of people like Attack on Titan was one of their first ones, and if they would have lost their favorite character like Levi, I guarantee you the numbers wouldn't have been the same. There
Bro,
would not
when
have been
Levi
as many
lost his
fans.
entire squad, like we were kind of starting to get to know them, and they all died off, and I was like, oh, okay, guess we're getting a new squad. But like you would think watching it, like when the first time you watch it, where you're like, oh my god, they're all dead.
Think about this though. There's like a good chunk of like our generation that are like completely desensitized to like a lot of death in their anime.
Because of all the shows, yeah.
Think about this. There's one that like you go up and you ask anybody our age group and like, hey, have you seen this? I guarantee 80% of them will say yes. They might not even like anime, but they've all fucking seen it. Death Note.
Yeah.
That set the fucking tone. First goddamn episode. Where you thought it was gonna end? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But like, you know how I used to bitch about I wanted like a certain thing in anime, and that's why you told me, hey, look, watch Attack on Titan got killed.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that Death Note gave me that.
Yeah, no, like I think the discussion kind of started with you praising Death Note.
Because of that,
Yeah.
because it would just kill off whoever.
there is
or-
one thing that I was requesting for a long time.
What?
I wanted to see the main character die.
Oh, okay. Well, you got it. So
Yeah, I mean, dude, Akame got killed gave it really well. I was all in it the whole time, and then when he died, I was like,
damn.
There was this anime. It got episodic, so I stopped watching it. But I can't even remember what it was called, right? But in it, like this dude is a lectern, so he's able to like create and manifest objects and items out of fucking thin air, right? And there's like this new continent on the earth that like popped up, and people are like, oh shit, we should go explore it. There's tons of resources there.
Mhm.
And he just like kind of lives there low key.
Oh,
People
shit.
like fight for survival there and like go there as adventurers and stuff.
and he's just trying
Anime picks up from like with a group of people, right? And it really makes it feel like, oh, it's about them. And we're following this new party, and they're like finally leveled up and got new abilities. Like they're about to get into it.
Oh, you've
And
seen
then they kill off the main characters, like those characters, and the dude walks in who is the main character. He's like, ah, fuck, I gotta clean this up.
What's this called? I need to know.
I remember.
They love pudding.
Yeah, like I know exactly. I can picture everything, but like I'm just like.
I'll find it. It's on Netflix, I believe. But
Oh, okay.
it's funny. It's funny. Like they did the fake out. I love that.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
It seems like it's one or the other. Either most of the characters are safe and they'll just do fake outs, or nobody's safe. Don't get attached to anybody.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. That the Fairy Tale did a fake out that almost made me drop it.
Really?
Yeah, they did this thing where like it seemed like the entire guild had died, but really they were like sealed away in time. And a bunch of years pass, and there's this kid that you knew from the very start who's trying to learn magic, and it picks up and he's like kind of dressed like Natsu, like kind of acting like him, and like you follow his POV for a few episodes, and I was like, oh fuck no.
Yeah.
You know, they even showed him like in the intro, like running up, and it like starts with him and then like it goes through the intro.
Yeah.
So they made you think like, oh no, everybody's dead. We're resetting. This kid is the new Natsu.
character.
Like this is our new main character. This is where we're
Really?
picking up. I was like, fuck this. I'm done with this show. I spent all that time, and everybody's that like, what?
Yeah,
He's
you get
gonna
invested.
avenge them.
Yeah.
Literally begged him. I was like, please don't tell me this is literally how it's gonna
Yeah,
be.
I would hate that
I literally
personally.
was freaking out.
Well, I feel like that just shits on all the time you invested into getting attached to like a group of characters, you know? And if it's like in the middle of your show, you just do a full reset and you get introduced to new characters because why not?
I fucked with
That
the
would
kid,
be a
though.
reason.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I fucked
fucking
with the kid.
crazy.
Yeah.
But like that's how it came off, right? And then like real quick, they're like, no, not really. Everybody's coming back.
Wow.
But like they hit you with that fake out. I was ready to quit.
Yeah, no, I think it's like very hard writing death in anime, man. Like maybe a lot of people complain about it, and it just depends on your preference personally. But shit, dude, you either do it just right to where like you get people interested and invested, or you completely turn off your fan base and they're like, yeah, fuck this show.
Just don't fridge someone. That's all I ask.
don't
just-
fridge someone.
Yeah. Don't take somebody and use them as an emotional weight for like character's reaction.
Oh,
That's what they did with Kuwabara and Genkai, kind of. And that's one of the things I think that it suffers a lot from. Yeah, I'm not asking for both of them to die. I think commit to one, bring back, and it's fine. It's shonen. I like Kuwabara. Bring Kuwabara back. Genkai, I think, would have had a lasting impression because she didn't even
wanted to
contribute
leave.
that much after that arc. She was involved in the Chapter Black arc, right? Which is still, I really like that arc actually. But she didn't contribute as much as I thought she was going to. And I'm like, doesn't make sense. Like, I get the whole prepping the whole cast by getting these, the new users or whatever, like the guys with their, what was it? Kind of like domains, but not domains. I don't remember what they were called. But like the humans who got those abilities. They're territories. There we go. She introduced the concept of territories and how like Yusuke, just because you're really strong doesn't mean that, you know, you're ready for everything. Like these guys are brand new and they were able to capture your ass. So I get that. That was essentially, I think, the only thing she contributed to that entire arc. And it was at the beginning. That could have come, I think, from a lot of other characters. So that's a reason I think she could have maybe like stayed, and then it just would have like helped carry on that legacy that she left behind for Yusuke specifically.
She said she wanted to leave
She did, yeah.
the future to the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
She's very much like Garp and Sengoku. She's like, y'all take care of it.
Yeah, she's old. She's just been through a lot. I don't blame her at all. Oh, and I will say one of my favorite scenes is her in the afterlife talking to Taguro. Like, that little moment that they had, I thought was so fucking good. Where Taguro, like, kind of is normal as, like, a human. He's like, yeah, like, I fucked up, basically. Like,
My bad, G.
Like, my bad, you know? But also being, like, honest, like, I went down the wrong path. And I'm glad that Yusuke is not doing the same thing, because he very clearly could have turned out like me, you know? And, like, Genkai's like, was it worth it or whatever? Or do you regret anything? And he's like, I don't regret anything, but it would have been a beautiful life living with her, like them ending up together. And I'm like, that hit me in the feels a little bit. I was
Like, look at what you missed out, motherfucker.
yeah, and I was like, dang, like, that's cool, because he's not just a meathead. He was someone who had, like,
Well, that's what he looked like.
Yeah, I know. The design did not do him any justice, in my opinion. But, like, he was a slightly deeper character than I ever gave him credit for. So that little scene I just really enjoyed. But to move on, I guess, to the actual section, or the other section of this episode, is referencing, or like coming up with scenes to convince people to watch these shows.
Oh yeah, so if you guys are new here, we kind of have this new little segment where we recommend scenes from a specific series to help you guys try to convince somebody to like maybe pick it up. Since YuYu Hakusho is so iconic, you should try to get your friends to watch it. So, you know, maybe use some of the scenes that we recommend.
Yeah, see what you think. These are some of the ones that maybe helped us get into it. And we're going to do, are we doing YuYu Hakusho and HunterxHunter, or just one or the other?
Let's just do YuYu Hakusho.
YuYu Hakusho?
Yeah, well, cool. Do you guys have yours?
The entire show.
YuYu Hakusho. When Kuwabara is like trying to stop his, or not fight, and Urumeshi's like floating around trying to like also help stop him from fighting.
Which part specifically again?
So you remember whenever Kuwabara's getting like kind of antagonized and bullied by school staff, and one of the teachers is like, "Fuck you! You got to make this test grade, and you got to not get in a fight for a week."
Oh yeah, early on.
Or I'm gonna get your friend fired. from his job, and like turns out like his family really genuinely needs that money.
Yeah. Oh,
And so he just thugs it out like a homie and takes those beatings. Just takes it on the chin. He's like, I just asked it after you're done, you leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good scene. Specifically for those that might think that Kuwabara is like the annoying, weak side character, because he is not. No. He is a great side character. He pulls it out when it's needed. Like he's got it where it counts. Yeah, he saves the day more often than not. If it wasn't for Kuwabara, they would have lost the Dark Tournament. Honestly, the whole rando situation in the Genkai tournament may not have ended up the way Yusuke wanted. He's very pivotal, and especially Chapter Black. He plays a huge role in the Chapter Black arc, specifically with his like spirit sword and everything. So yeah, no, that's a great scene to kind of show someone, hey, this is just a side character, and he has values, and he's very honorable. He might come off annoying at first, but give him a chance. Like you'll really come to like this character.
Promise, it's more than you think.
Yeah,
like this is not a surface level thing.
That's really good. Ooh, for me, let's see. Or do you have one off the top of your head?
I got one, and like it's just like I got some good reasoning behind it. Okay. Do you remember when Hiei turns into his like transformation, like green with all the eyeballs around him?
He opens all the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun fact: do you know how many times he uses that?
Once.
Yeah. The entire fucking series.
Yeah.
But it's a good fucking moment. It's a good fight leading up afterwards, after it, right? So it's a good scene to show. Because one, you gotta give a like I'm like when we do these, I'm trying to stay away from like showing main character stuff. If I can show you some like more side character stuff to like kind of maybe push you towards it instead, that's the way. That, and then like I think it's kind of funny that you would show them a buff that's then never revealed ever again.
Yeah, he never uses that. And it's kind of funny that he never uses that again.
That's the whole reason. Like, it's cool. Like, you know, something like, you know, because I mean, most people are gonna want to watch it are gonna want to look for like that shonen-esque.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that'd be like.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. That's a good point because it doesn't really even spoil anything.
Exactly. It's super low key. Like it's not meant to be like just something is like.
It shows like a rivalry between the two, you know. For people who really like the Goku and Vegeta type situation, this would cater to them. That's good. I kind of like that a lot.
You could catfish people that are into romance with the Keiko scene. It's like,
yeah, Keiko's involved too.
Bang.
That bang scene's good. Yeah. That phrasing. Ooh, not what I meant. Keiko's a good character. What? Shut up.
How old is Keiko?
That's a child. Not what I meant.
FBI, open up!
I need an adult.
You got one? Adult.
Yeah, I do. Mine is a little more on the spoiler side, but I still think it's a really good scene.
I swear to God, if you pick the fucking chains.
Spoiler on
No,
this
it's not.
old ass fucking anime, bro.
I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Spoiler for the Netflix series.
No, it's not the chain scene, but that's up there.
That sounds weird, bro. Context.
Okay, he has chains that hold back his like actual power.
He has metaphorical chains.
Metaphor. That's like the equivalent of the fucking Rock Lee weights. That came
Exactly.
before, honestly.
Oh
It
yeah.
probably
yeah,
inspired
Like the Baki scene. Like how his mind.
I haven't seen Baki, so. But like the equivalent of like the
taking
character.
off his weighted gi.
His weighted gi, his weighted clothes, all that stuff. Like, that is a good one. I'll put that as an honorable mention. But no, mine is. It's probably one of my favorite scenes in the show. It's Yusuke in the cave when he takes the spirit orb from Genkai, and he's just like trying to hold it in and like having all that pain and stuff. And then when Pooh comes in, the little bird thingy or whatever, I don't even, the dragon, I guess.
Like an egg he hatched.
The egg he hatched. So like the only context I would give them is like, hey, this is like a spirit animal or whatever that's attached to his lifespan, right? So like they both feel the same shit. And you see him essentially just like taking on all that pain from the spirit orb to be able to try and like get a power up, right? And you can tell he's like on death's door. Like he is coughing up blood, screaming in pain. The amazing vocal performance specifically from the guy who voices Yusuke. And then seeing like Pooh come in and like being really weak because he's also feeling the same pain that Yusuke is, come in and like check on him, and he's like, Pooh, what the fuck are you doing here, right? And Pooh goes and tries to get the water and stuff, and then he just like falls down, and he's about to get crushed by like all the rock and stuff, because like the cave was starting to come down, and that's like the moment where Yusuke gets up and like fully accepts the spirit orb, and then like has that whole moment where like he powers up and everything, and then goes and saves Pooh because like he sees himself in that, you know, and he's like, no, like I can't let him die because I'm too weak. I need to be stronger. So that whole scene, I watched it while I was driving. I shouldn't do that, but I watched it and I was like, I should have watched this on the TV. This was amazing. Shut up! You do the same thing.
Don't watch it.
I don't know what
don't
you're
watch
talking
it,
about,
Ryan.
Martine. I would never condone this kind of stuff. Welcome to the dark side.
Yeah, that scene I think is one of the best ones in the show. I rewatched it a couple times. I was like, yeah,
Solid moment. Yeah.
solid moment.
Man, he went straight to the Gohan going Super Saiyan 2. Like he went
Kinda,
straight to
yeah.
it. He was
Yeah.
like that. The best scene.
It's like when
Does
he,
not get better than this.
when he said spoiler. I mean, he was not fucking around.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
Okay.
it does. It does get better than that.
You get his whole demon transformation later
Buddy,
on.
what the?
I've said spoiler warning enough times, buddy. And it's a
Dude, this
90s
show
anime.
is old as fuck.
Yeah.
That's like me saying spoiler warning for talking about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, do you guys take into consideration the people that like had no upbringing, knowing about anime, had no context to it,
This
and they
is to
recently
help
because
them want to watch.
exactly, and
So
you
it's
just
gonna be
spoiled the
them.
fuck out of some shit.
Look, we said it at the start. That's our code. Make sure you use it when you order your G Fuel.
10% off.
You've gotten really good at that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So see, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know, but we did the same thing with Naruto. I mean, like, yeah, this really spoils it, but if you want like a big enough reason, and some people don't care about the spoilers, check this out. It's really, really good. And everything before then is still just as good. And it doesn't fall off. I'm not giving you the peak of the show and then it gets worse from there. There's still better moments. That's before the Toguro fight. That's before the Chapter Black stuff, the whole demon form. Like, there's a lot of really cool scenes after that too. So I'm just giving you a taste, in my opinion, and a scene that for me specifically like really resonated.
No, yeah.
So
It still is an impeccable moment. Yeah. I fucking honestly, you talking about it made me want to go back and watch it. To be honest,
it's really good.
Yeah,
And-
I did a little recapping. It's good, man.
And if
It's
you
fun.
want like a good dubbed anime, this
that's
is
okay.
the
Yes.
one. This is the dubbed
He
anime
does a
you want to
really
watch.
good job, like
Mhm.
in the English dub. And I'm not a dub hater, right? I just want a good, genuine performance. Like
Mm-hmm.
he
Mhm.
does an amazing job.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't picture anyone else.
Oh,
playing
dude,
this.
everyone does. Honestly, there's not like okay. Sometimes the monster of the week will sound kind of clunky, and like they'll add some weird vocal effect. But like overall, it's pretty raw.
Oh yeah, the main cast of characters, fantastic. They all have some of the best dub performances ever, and you can hear a lot of the people you've heard in other shows. Like Botan is played by the same person that does Chi-Chi. Hiei is done by the same one who does Dr. Stein from Soul Eater and Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z. Kuwabara is Chris Sabat. I mean, that's Piccolo, Vegeta, all them. And I don't know who does Kurama actually. That one does ring a bell.
I'd have to look at or listen.
But great performances, and it's so fucking funny. If I had to do an honorable mention scene that wasn't like a key emotional or action scene, I'd pull out any fucking time Yusuke's talking shit to somebody, dude. He's the funniest motherfucker ever, dude.
That he put all his stats and shit talk.
Yeah, and he backs it up
Okay.
too.
So last time we did this, Gary brought up a moment in Naruto,
Mm-hmm.
and like that was actually super pivotal, and that was actually in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Would you not say that Yu Yu Hakusho also has like a moment in the first episode where you'd be like, oh yeah, no, this is some shit. There's like, understandably, this is why these guys are recommending it.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the
100%.
moment, like Gary was saying, like, hey, yeah, you're a piece of shit. These are all your sins, and yeah, you know, here.
Mm-hmm.
Is he dead? Is he good? He's good.
All right. Cool.
I'm
Cool.
good.
All right.
I don't regret it.
It wasn't until he saw like how bad his mom felt.
It was the reaction of
that-
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something
She's
that's
the first
common
man.
with these shows that we I mean, we're 2 for 2, I guess, for it. But like the first episode has enough in it, in my opinion, to like
It'll hook
entice someone and hook you. Like I showed Sam that first episode. He's like, oh, okay. No, like I think I do actually want to.
You know what does a terrible job at it though?
Who?
Our first episode.
Please do not listen to our first episode, man.
I couldn't help it. It was.
Yeah.
Don't go watch it.
Don't do
And if you do,
You were a
be
trooper.
kind. Be kind.
Fine, we were learning. We didn't know what we were doing.
Like go back, view it more as like history,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's history
A-
in the
a-
making.
museum.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever re-listen to that episode willingly.
Nope.
Never. We even thought about replacing it with
Well,
like
one
a
day
updated version.
somebody's gonna take that audio clip and like animate little random stick figures talking to it, and you're gonna be scrolling and come across and be like, oh, what the fuck is that?
That'll be around the same time that they Rule 34 Martine. And Alchemist out.
Please do that.
Please
Alchemist
don't
out.
do that. Alchemist out.
Draw him down.